right? Next time what's tax? What's tax? Tax 7%. No, 7% very hard. 10% of all the food that come in. I want to tax this GST. Yeah. GSTN, give some to me tax. Okay, so let's work on these analytical tools for Excel and PLA. This is topic 7. Okay, we'll start with the count function. So before we work on PLA 2-1, right, I want to illustrate to you what is actually the count function. Just now, right, when we do an auto sum here. We did an auto sum here. Where is an auto sum? Here. We did an auto sum, auto average. There's also another function called auto count. Okay, so count basically, right, over here, you can do the count the numbers. So using a function count, what it does is it actually counts how many of the cell contains the data. So of course, obviously here we have 15 now. Okay. But if we work on some other some other range with data inside, right? So let's say I have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I make use of the function count for this range A1 to C4, so in total it will give me 12. Okay, so it actually counts in total how many cells contains a value. So if I remove B2, which is 6 here, if I remove this, the count will become 11, even though it is counting from A1 to C4, but in total only 11 cells has a value. Okay, so now back to our lab activities here. So looking at PLA 2-1, it asks you to use the count function to for the cell E2 to E9. So let's work on this. Over here, where I use the count function from E2 to E9, it will give us 8. This one put at 800% because it has not been formatted. So we don't want to format it as a percentage, we put it as general. So it's 8. So this count here, of course, when we do the count, it counts how many cells contains a value, and all the cells here contains a value. So that's why it turned us 8. But what we want to do here is I want to count the number of sales representative earning a commission. So this count cannot work. It just counts any cell that contains a value. It doesn't matter what value is inside. So what we can do is we are going to put it as count, another function called count if. If meaning that there is a criteria. I'm still counting from E2 to E9, but the second argument here has a criteria which is greater than 0, meaning that I want something that is positive. So when I change the functions to using the count if, it will count the cells that are positive. So I get 5 here. Because it only counts the cell with the value that satisfies the condition or the criteria here, which is greater than 0. So if you follow the steps here, it is exactly what I show you. Okay, so over here actually I will learn two functions. One is a count function, the other one is count if. Okay, so next one, what we are going to look at is called the sum if. Alright, so how does the sum if work? Right, let's download the file. So below here, sum if. So please download PLA2-2. So in the sales analysis worksheets here. Okay, before we work on this data, so let's go to the sum if. Sum if, basically there are two functions here. I want to sum up the value, but based on a certain criteria. The if is to set a criteria. So the arguments here, there are three arguments. So sum if, I'm actually searching a range of value to find if any of the value or any cell within the range satisfy the criteria. If it satisfies the criteria, I will sum up the value provided in another range. Okay? So in this exercise here, what it wants us to do is in PLA2-2, there's a new table that's set up. Over here, we are going to input the different region, NSW, VIC, and so on and so on. So the 4 different regions. I want to sum up the sales for that region. And the information is in the raw sales. So the information is the raw sales. These are the region. On top of the, above the salesperson, these are the region, okay, that each salesperson represent. And the total sales is at below here. You double click, you will be able to see the actual value. So at row 63. So row 63 contains the value for the sales for that particular salesperson at the particular region. So these are the total sales. So this contains the number, and row 2 contains the category, so-called. So I want to sum up NSW with NSW, all the value. So we will make use of the sum if function. But before that, I need to get the different region. So how do I do it? I know that the information is already provided somewhere in the raw sales here, S3 to S6. But I'm not going to do a Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V, copy and paste. I'm going to use dynamic linking equal raw sales S3. Done. Then I'll fill in the rest. So this combines a little bit of what we have done just now. Okay, so how are we going to perform the sum? So Before that, okay, we know that to refer to the cell here, we need to type something like, okay, equal sum if. Alright, then where is the range to search for this value? It is in raw cells F2 all the way to M6, M2 here. Then you put the comma. Okay, then after that, you need to put in the criteria over here and so on. So it's pretty messy. So what I suggest is, instead of referring to another worksheet for the cell, we name this first. So from F2 to M2, we select this whole range, we name it as region. Okay? And you scroll down to row 63, F63 to M63, we name it as regional sales. So we created two range name. If let's say you accidentally selected an additional cell or selected one less, what we can do is we can go to the formula, name manager, you click on it, you can edit. You can edit and reselect the range, or you can just delete it and recreate. Because once you have set the name here, it will be fixed. You cannot change it. You cannot have a duplicate, so it will remain here. So we have to name it first. After we name this, you go to the cell analysis worksheet here. We can use a function sum if. So which range we want to search? We want to search region, that range. Searching for the value in A20 with its NSW. Once I found it, I will sum up the value that appear in regional sales. So we'll get all this value here. So sum if pretty similar to count if. Just that count, it actually did a counting of those cells that satisfy the criteria. But the sum if is fine summing up another range of cells which match with the criteria of the other range, okay, and then sum up the value. So slightly different, okay, but functions pretty similar. So that is the sum if. If we add up the value here, we do an auto sum, okay, we will get the same value, 14429. Of course, the same, right? Because either you sum up by the different region or by different salesperson, the total sum are still the same. So there are two things you need to do. You need to name the region. You need to name the regional sales according to the range that's provided. Actually, they're provided here. Okay. Okay? Anyone still working on this? The sum if? All done, huh? Okay, good. So next, we'll look at the if function. So the if functions, basically that we want to base on a certain conditions. Okay? So we follow some kind of a flow chart that I think I drawn before. Okay? That you follow a flow chart where you need to make a decision. This decision will have only two outcomes, either true or false. True, you perform certain action or output certain value. False, you perform another action or another value. Then after that, you end. Okay? And this decision here, in the if function, is a condition. A condition where we perform a comparison. So we take two values, check whether the two values are equal, not equal, greater, smaller, greater, equal, smaller, equal. So we are comparing two values here. And these two values, well, the comparison will give us the outcome, either true or false. So it will go through different paths. Okay? So, you download PLA 2-3. Okay? So under the command here, the instruction it asks you to output or to fill in the value whether the salesperson has achieved target or has not achieved target. So how do we know that whether he has achieved target? Meaning that we look at the total sales of the person. If it is more than the target, meaning that you have achieved the target. Otherwise, you didn't achieve the target. So that would be the output, or we put it as under target. So information here, you achieve target. If it's false, it's under target. Okay. So we will use an if function here. If. So we have three arguments. Okay. So the first thing is I'm doing a comparison. So I take the value in B2 if it is more than C2. Which means the second argument is I have achieved target. Alright. Otherwise, it will be nothing. So I put a dash here. So I hit enter. Yeah, the first one achieved target, and this is how it works. You can use the FX to open up the dialog box. The first logical test, so basically the condition, you're doing comparison. Value if true, meaning that if this this comparison outcome is true, you will output this one. Otherwise, false, you will output the other one. You raise it. Stretching. Okay, so that is the if function. Right. Okay. So we have looked at count if, sum if. So everything with the if. So if meaning that we based on a certain idea about what the if function is based on the condition. Okay, the condition is always comparison. Right? You can compare two values when equal or not, then you follow two different paths. Right. So the last part for this PLA is about charting. Okay, but this charting that we have here is pretty simple. Just a preview, because next week we are going to do data validation. Not data validation, data visualization. So data visualization is more complex of charting. So simple charting here. Let's download PLA 2-4. Okay. Okay, with the information here, we can plot some chart. Like for example, we want to compare salesperson total sales versus their target sales. You use a column chart. We want to look at the different region sales in terms of percentage. We can use a pie chart. So how do you insert a chart? I believe most of you plotted chart on Excel before. So I just do a very quick one, very quick preview. For those who haven't, then you try to follow what we have done. Okay, so when we plot a column chart, the first column here, it is always the x-axis category. And each of the column value subsequently, it will be the series. Okay, so in order for us to plot the column chart, we can select from A1 to C9, which include the header and the category. This is the category, which is each salesperson, the header. So we can simply go to insert chart and we choose a column chart. We can choose a 2D column, you can choose a 3D column. If you choose a 3D column, click yes, this is what we have. You can double click on the chart title, you can change it. You can change it to total sales versus target. You'll see that, hey, there is no so-called title for my x-axis category, no title for my y-axis category. So what I can do, you click on the chart itself, there's a plus sign on the top right corner. You click on the plus sign, I can add the axis title. So the axis title here, I can change it to sales rep. And on the left hand side or on the y axis, I can change it to SGD. Maybe I put it like this. Okay, then done. So this is a simple chart. So from here we can tell that if the blue color is higher than the red color, meaning that they have achieved the target. Okay, so how about a pie chart? So the pie chart, you just select, again, the leftmost column is the category, right? Over here, the category, and then the data is on the right hand side. So we just select these two, we can go to insert and choose a pie chart, done. But some of you are saying that, hey, the pie, like no, nothing here. How about the percentage? Okay, so what you can do is you click on the pie, okay, then you right click, you add data labels. click on add data labels. So you add the data labels, it actually shows you the actual value that is on the Excel. But this is not what we want to see because the actual value, we can't see the percentage. So what we can do, right click again, format the data labels. Over here you can see the percentage, check the box. You can uncheck the value. You can check the category name. So you have all the relevant information shown on the pie chart. Yeah. Okay, and we have much more chart or data visualization to play next week. Okay, so this is just a very quick, simple chart to plot. Okay, okay. Right. So we are done for this PLA exercise. I know some of you are still trying to plot the chart. Okay. Anyway, all the instructions are here. I just didn't toggle between the PDF and the worksheets. So main thing to learn for today is a count, sum if, if. Alright. So we move on to the next one, which is the analytical tools in Excel, WLA. This one more fun. Yes, much more fun. More fun meaning much more difficult also. Okay. So workshop activity, and the main thing that we are looking at is the VLOOKUP. We might not have enough time to cover the entire WLA, but we will cover the VLOOKUP. Okay? Right click. Format data labels. Then I check the label. Okay. We have about half an hour, so I think only enough to play. So for VLOOKUP, if you have heard about VLOOKUP, you know VLOOKUP, you know how you do it. If you haven't first time learn about this, right? VLOOKUP is one of the very important functions in Excel. Very useful, okay, and important. Many people feel that it is very difficult, but actually later I'll show you the example. It's going to be very easy and useful in future, and useful for your other assignment also, and important for the test, for the exam, okay, everything. And it's much more useful when you go out and you work. Okay, so I'm going to show you the VLOOKUP. But of course, before that, there's this IPO chart. Again, same thing. Basically, when we want to do some design, data modeling, okay, data analysis, we need to design. So this is again the IPO chart. IPO chart is a table. So this one I leave it to you, okay, to go through this IPO chart. IPO is important for your exam, okay? Because in the exam, I get to know that there are certain questions ask you to fill in the IPO chart. So like give you the input, give you the output, what should be the processing. Okay, basically the processing is our Excel functions, right? But you type it in words. Okay, so this VLOOKUP here, I will leave it as an exercise to you. I will use my example to show you how VLOOKUP works. Alright, so I will work on a new blank worksheet. Actually, when I explain VLOOKUP to you, it should be easier because you have already gone through the database management system where you learn the access. So VLOOKUP works pretty similar to the primary key, foreign key relationship that link up two tables. Okay, so if you have that concept well, right, this one easy to understand. Okay, so let's set some data. Okay, so let's have name, code or country, description. Okay, let's have these three. Anyone want to volunteer your name? I use mine. Handsome Ko. Yeah? Huh? Charlene. Charlene. Ko. Charlene Ko also? C-H-U-N-G. This one? T-O-N-G. C-O-N-G. C-H. Oh, this one? Oh, okay, nice. Anyone else? Huh? Valerie. How to spell? I'm very prepared. Like this. What else? Huh? Gynae. Gynae, I thought it's a job. Any? Valerie what? Huh? C-H-A-Y. Ah, okay, nice. Any more? Charmaine. Charmaine what? Wong, okay. Okay, so I guess this is Sabo time. Any more? Okay. Why don't people call gorgeous? Handsome must have gorgeous, gorgeous coat. But all like Asian, we must have some foreign name. Nata Di Coco. Huh? French name. Yeah. In Singapore also can have Jinggang Ko. Nata Di Coco. Okay. Any more? Anyone you want Sabo? Okay. Kopi Peng. My core family. Kopi C. Kopi Gao. Japanese name, Kopi Shutai. Huh? Who Milo Peng? Kopi Peng is better. Kopi Peng, yeah. And you know, when you go to Thailand, Phuket, I have many islands there. My brother, sister, island are all there. Koh Samui, Koh Phi Phi, all there. Okay, so anyway, Handsome Ko come from SG lah, of course, right? Charlene Chong, from where? Huh? Thailand, okay. Valerie Chen? China, okay. Charmaine Wong? Huh? India, okay. Gorgeous, people gorgeous from SG lah, of course lah. Nata Di Coco, France. Jinggang Ko, people Jinggang Ko also from SG. Kopi Peng also SG lah. Kopi C, SG. Kopi Gao, SG. Kopi Shutai, Japan. Huh? Whose name not inside? Okay, so now, based on this information, I want to fill up the description. So, I want to fill up Singapore, Thailand, okay, China, and so on. But it's going to be very tedious. I have 11 names here, but if I have 11,000, I type until I'm crazy. So the next option is ask an intern to do it. But of course, ask an intern also not cheap, right? Yeah. So can save cost, save cost. So what we're going to do, we use a VLOOKUP. Okay? So I construct a separate table, code and maybe description. Okay? So we have a code. Let's say SG is Singapore, MY is Malaysia. So where else? TH is Thailand, CN is China, where IN is India. So we got ID is Indonesia, FR France, JP Japan. Okay. So this is a reference table. This is the main table. So this code here looks like a primary key. This code here looks like a secondary, not secondary, foreign key. So I want to fill in the information. But I wait for you all to construct this table, and I'll show you the steps in using VLOOKUP. Okay? Okay, so of course at this C2 here, I want Singapore to appear here. I want to fill in this information. So I'm going to show you the flow of how VLOOKUP works. Then later I will show you how to key the function. So at C2, I use a VLOOKUP function. This function going to search the value that's stored in V2, searching this value from the table G2 to H9, and the code that I want to search, or the value I want to search, must be on the first column, which is the leftmost column. Once I found the match SG here, I will return the value that is in the second column, which is Singapore here, to C2. So that's the whole flow of VLOOKUP. So let's start with the VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, there are 4 arguments here. It may be complicated for beginners to type in here. So you can click on FX. It will have a dialog box. So the first input, the argument, lookup value, what do I want to search? I'm searching the value in V2. So actually I put V2 here. From which table, which is the table array? From the table G2 to H9. So you can see G2 to H9, and actually when I key in the value, I key in the function in C2, I'm expecting to copy this to C3, C4, C5, C6. So meaning that V2 will be a relative referencing to V3, V4, V5, V6. That's okay. But G2 to H9, right? I don't want it to move down to G3, then H10. No. So I want to make this an absolute reference. So I put F4, F4. So I make this as an absolute reference for the reference table. So once I found the match at the first column, I return. Over here we only have 2 columns. Column 1, which is G, column 2, which is H. So I return the second column. So I put a 2 here. Return the second column value. And the last one, there's only 2 values to enter, false or true. In this case here, we are searching for an exact match, meaning the code SG, SG. So we put false here. Later I'll give you the example for true. So I click OK, done, I fill in the rest, settle. So there's a video. Okay? Yeah. Simple, right? Because you already know, you already have the database model, so-called the prior experience. So this primary key foreign is very similar to primary foreign key. Okay? But it's actually searching the value. Done. Good. Next one. I want to have it based on the income of a person and to search for the status or the title for the person. Okay? So let's have a range of income range. Okay, the range, and then the status or the title. Okay, so take note on how I create this table. From 0 to less than 500, this range. The status title is intern. 500 to less than 2,000, the status, the title is part-timer. 2,000 to less than 3,500 is fresh graduate. Correct all? Right. When you just graduate, the income range is around there, right? Or how much would you expect to get? Do you expect to get when you graduate? No need, or as much as possible. Yes, right. Everyone wants as much as possible. Yeah. Actually, it's possible. It depends on what job you do also. So 3,000 to 3,500 to less than 5,000. Okay, 3,500 to less than 5,000. Maybe put executive. 5,000 to less than 10,000. We put manager. 10,000 to less than 50,000 is director. 50,000 to less than 100,000 is the C level. You know C level? C something O. CEO, CFO, CPO, CIO, COO, CHO, CMO, CCO, any C, any O lah. Okay, you can insert in between. So more than 100,000 monthly pay. Prime Minister more than that. Prime Minister only one job cannot we generalize it, we put minister. Not bad In Singapore, be a salaried worker is better. Okay? So you look at this data, this table. The range of value is from the smallest to the largest. And take note, 0 to less than 500 is intern. Okay? And so on. So now let me this forward. Okay, handsome code. No need to argue. 4896. Charlene, how much would you like to get? 0. Okay. $1 can. Very. Why all y'all so humble? Is $1 per second or what? 5,000 5,000 Charmaine? 500. Okay. Then gorgeous. Okay, gorgeous core is mine already. Gorgeous core I want to put 2,000. 2222. Nata de coco. This one for expatriate. So 80,000. Jingang Ko. Actually same level as Charlene Chong. 168 good number, but still Jingang Ko in Singapore. Yeah, more than. So Kopi Peng. This kind of name is minister name. Yeah, Kopi C. Then this one we change a bit. Okay, 9999. 10,000. 10,001. Okay. So now we can see from this value here, we cannot find an exact match for 4896, but we know that 4896 is within this range, 3,500 to 500, so it should have the title executive. So how are we going to do the search? Actually, it's the same way to use a VLOOKUP. Okay? VLOOKUP. I'm searching the value in D2. Okay? From this reference table here. And this reference table must be absolute references. If you don't want to use absolute referencing, you can name this range in any reasonable name. Then I return the second column value, and now the most important part is the last argument. I put it as true. True meaning that I'm searching from a range. So I hit enter and done. Okay? So the differences here between true and false is true is from a range of value, and the range of value must be sorted from the lower to the higher, and this is 0 to less than 500. 500 is exactly part-timer. Okay? And the argument is true. Then for the false, right, is using code. I put it as a code because it do an exact match. Okay? So that is the two different use of VLOOKUP. If you can understand this one, you have done, go to the learning activities, work on the VLOOKUP. You need to download the WLA. Yeah, work on this one. You need to download WLA 2-1. Follow the instruction here, or follow the requirement here, and you work on it. Okay? And actually ask you to, let's say, okay, let's download WLA 2-1. So, okay, on this reference worksheet here has a table for you to reference, which is a commission table. You can see the commission table. So you can see the commission table has a range. Okay, has a range from the smallest to the highest, and then the commission. So in the sales analysis, they want you to fill in the value of the commission earned. Okay, so meaning that based on a certain criteria, how do you get a commission percentage, right? Okay, so this is the work that you need to do. So look at this VLOOKUP. Okay, work on it, try it. So I'll show you my example here so that you refer to this. Work on the exercise. We have 15 minutes. Is the second column. So at the reference table we have two, right? The leftmost is the code or the range. The second one is the value that we want to return. So I put 2. Yeah. If you have table more than that, 3, 4, 5, right, they will count which column. Who has done it? Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, okay. Right now, okay. Give you some time.
Only one day only, also. I buy skincare also.
VLOOKUP, the name is vertical. So you can see all our table here is vertical, vertical. Actually, in fact, vertical is more up to today, right? It's more natural to us because we keep our table in this format. So using vertical. There's another lookup called H lookup, which is horizontal. We seldom use, but in certain instances we may use a H lookup. Right? Okay, but in our case here, like database, you see this kind of table, right? We churn out from the database, right? Very easily, and we can actually put it together and use it. Okay, so now let me show you. Okay, I know some of you are struggling. Okay, so don't let you struggle too much. The commission reference is in another worksheet. So it makes better sense if I name it, because after I name it, I can access it anywhere in the workbook at different worksheet. I don't need to do a reference to the worksheet reference, then do the cell. So in that case, I select C3 to B8. I select this range here, and I call it commission. Okay, so I have named it. Then I don't need to put absolute referencing. I go back to the cell analysis worksheet. The first one, equal VLOOKUP. What do I look up? I look up for the variance, percentage variance from the commission table. Once I found the range, the correct range, I will return the second column value, and this is for a range. So I put a true here. And I get 0.05 and all this. Oops, sorry, do wrong. Do here. Okay? So since this is a percentage, I can format it in the percentage. I can change the decimal point. Done. Let me show you. Okay? So there's a VLOOKUP. So I use a name range names, okay, to make the absolute referencing easier. So the commission earned is equal to the commission percentage times the exceeded amount. And then that's the amount that we have. So today we will stop at the VLOOKUP. The rest, right, we will do it next week. Okay? Yeah. So commission earn, we also done the simple formula, we're done already. So the outlining all this next week. So next week main thing is about data visualization. Okay? So if you have not installed the software, please install it. Okay? Up to today, you can actually start revising on Microsoft Access. Okay? So 2 weeks later, the in-class test is going to be Microsoft Access, Microsoft Excel, and related topics, meaning the database management system and data analysis. Okay? Okay, huh? Okay. So see you next week. Yes, because I think you can use it go here, go to that. Then you select it. No, yes, then you stop. No, then after you Yes. Yeah, I can.